for the road ahead. We ask that you would keep our footsteps firm on solid ground, helping us to be consistent and faithful. We confess our need for you again and ask that you make all things new in our hearts, in our minds, and in our lives for this coming year. We pray for your refreshing over us. To you be glory and honor in this new year and forever. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner Fleming. Next order of business is the election of officers. We start with President of the County Commissioners. Do we have any nominations for President of the County Commissioners?
I'd like to nominate Andy Castelny as President.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Nominations for President of the County Commissioners are now closed. We will now vote. All those in favor of Andy Castelny being President of the County Commissioners signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Castelny,
All right.
your
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. As always, thank you.
All right, I will now open up nominations for Vice President. I will nominate Deb Fleming.
I will second that.
Your motion is second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I will close the nominations. All those in favor of Deb Fleming serving as Vice President of the Board of Commissioners signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion passes 2-1. All right.
Yay. Thank you very much.
Moving on to first order of business, opening and reading of bids. Seeing there are none, we'll go to reports and requests. First is from the Board of Commissioners, and that item is the accounts payable docket. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the accounts payable docket.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have our annual department appointments. We've got a slate of department appointments for our department heads and our county attorneys. We also have the boards and commissions that the commissioners sit on. Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the slate of department appointments, boards, and commissioners' appointments.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-1. Congratulations and condolences to all of our department heads and county attorneys. And thank you for your service, and looking forward to a wonderful 2019. All right, moving on to our employee of the month. If you want to.
Jessica Clark, County Engineer with offices here in the County City Building, room 732. It is my pleasure to discuss one of our employees that we had nominated and thankfully has been awarded Employee of the Month. Chip Porter effectively manages 73 highway personnel and is responsible for overall operations at 6 area garages. His peers and coworkers describe Chip as being an excellent researcher, able to successfully balance projects, being an excellent leader, being thorough, being very open-minded, and taking initiative to explore new ideas. Aspects of Chip's character and work ethic that make him an outstanding supervisor and highway engineer include the complete culture and environmental change in our highway department or highway division. St. Joseph County, its residents and highway staff have benefited from Chip's knowledge of materials and equipment and ability to lead the following efforts. We have established a personal protective equipment policy, implemented an anti-icing pretreatment program, established a snow and ice control policy providing consistent levels of service throughout our community with expectation levels and clear methods of procedure, initiated a chip seal and snowplow rodeos, which are annual training for our all highway staff discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly of the past season's efforts and accomplishments, areas of improvement, and highlighting the upcoming season's expectation and goals. Implemented ViewWorks, which is a service request and tracking system, implemented a training and safety program, monthly programs targeted at specialized skills or training necessary to perform routine work assignments safely and properly, initiated a performance-based wage scale where employees regularly receive raises within a given pay range based on existing skill set, certification, and skills acquired throughout the year. And we have also internally initiated he has helped internally initiate an Outstanding Employee Award where 2 employees from each garage area are acknowledged and congratulated for their efforts during their previous season, meaning we celebrate the efforts of 12 employees in the spring for their efforts on winter operations, and then again another 12 in the fall for their efforts in the summer operations. CHIP effectively communicates with the public using weekly program updates sent to the media and posted on our website, as well as sends correspondence letters to residents informing them of upcoming work on their roads, the process and expectations of that work, its schedule and construction steps. He effectively delivers projects and plans on time throughout the year, monthly and weekly planning with our area supervisors and personnel. Chip is a diligent worker, and he diligently works every day to make St. Joseph County the best place to work and live. So again, it is my pleasure to bring Chip up, help celebrate his Employee of the Month.
Well, you certainly, yeah.
Yep.
We're
Come up there,
very
please.
pleased to be able to give this to you. And we were supposed to give it to you last month, but unfortunately you were not feeling well. So now we have the Employee of the Month. Be it known that this 18th day of December, which should have been last month, the Board of Commissioners of St. Joseph County, Indiana, and the City of South Bend hereby confer this award upon Chip Porter in recognition of his character, work ethic, and leadership of the county's Highway Department. There you are, sir. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And this is for you too as
Congratulations.
well, right here.
And then when you retire, you get a second key.
So what
All
we'll-
right.
And it's going back to the rodeo. If you've never seen Chip sitting on a snowplow trying to lasso a bobcat, it is fantastic. So it's must-see entertainment. Also, what we'll do is we've got another award, a presentation to make, and then we'd ask for both folks to come up and we'll take a picture so you guys don't have to wait till the end of the meeting to do that. So congratulations, Chip, on all the great work that you do. Next, it's our honor also to present a key to the county. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, thank you. Susan Haderi, am I pronouncing that last name right? Thank you. Susan Haderi began her career with St. Joseph County in the Treasurer's Office on November 24th, 1986. She was hired by Joseph Doran, the county treasurer at the time, and also served under former treasurers Cindy Bodel, Tom Zacheski, Sean Coleman, and the current treasurer, Mike Crook. During her 30-plus years with the Treasurer's Office, Sue has performed just about every operation in the office and has served as the deputy treasurer for the last 15 years. Because of her depth of knowledge in all things related to the Treasurer's Office, the office has been able to function in a smooth and efficient manner over the last several years. Sue and her husband, Frank, opened up their home to her fellow co-workers, as they always have and through the best Christmas parties the office ever had. Sue would not start a work day without a strong cup of coffee, and on those few occasions when she didn't, everyone in the office knew it. While we wish Sue could serve with us indefinitely, we know that she has earned her much-deserved retirement and that she has other things that she has yet to accomplish. She has served the residents of St. Joseph County with the utmost integrity and the highest degree of professionalism, and St. Joseph County is a better place for all she has done. She will be sorely missed. Upon this occasion of Susan's retirement, after 32 years of continuous service to the residents of St. Joseph County, we are proud to present this key to the county in a token of our sincere gratitude and our best wishes for you in the future. So please come on up.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for serving our county. Really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Here's your key and certificate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a couple of words? If you,
No words?
I mean, aside from how great Mike was to work with all these years, of course, but
You're right. And this is special because my mother received one of these. She also worked in the treasurer's office
Wow.
That's
Like
awesome.
mother, like daughter. How nice.
for 30-some years.
Wow.
Now that you retired from Mike, who is your favorite treasurer?
Mike.
Why don't we slide down so we can get a picture and then...
Thank you.
Counselor, you coming?
No, this is for you elected folks.
Yours at the same time, too.
Mike, you want to jump in one?
I can.
Yeah, come on in, yeah, that'll be a good idea.
That's what goes on at these Christmas parties.
I know.
Come on, Grandma. Maybe we should. I can get behind you, 'cause I don't know.
Here, 3D.
No, just you. All right, yeah. Good to see you.
Jessica, you might as well pop in a couple too.
Congratulations.
Smile, you're rocking again. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Just a reminder, the Key to the County is the highest award that we are allowed to present any citizen of St. Joseph County. So it truly is an honor for all the great work that, Sue, you have done throughout your career. We thank you again. All right, next up, we have an extension of contract for the Animal Control and Shelter Services. This is a, cleans up the contract. It actually had expired the 31st of December 18, so this just extended it for 2 days until we got through this meeting. Are there any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the extension of the contract with Animal Control and Shelter Services.
Second.
I have motion and second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have the contract for Animal Control and Shelter Services, beginning January 1st of this year through the end of December 2021. This is, council had passed and put in the first payment of this for the first year for 2019, so this is kind of cleaning that piece up with extending this contract. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah, thank you. I was wondering, I was not part of the negotiation process of this, so I don't know. Counselor, was you involved in the negotiation?
Not really, no.
Okay. I got some concerns, I guess. One is, like, what is our, I would like someone to refresh me what our current rate is. I think it's like $242,000 a year plus they keep the fees. I could be wrong, but that's where I think it's at. And, I see this is a 3-year contract. In year one, $253,000, slight increase from what I think we're paying. It looks like they get to keep the fees, which I've never been supportive of that. So I still wouldn't support them keeping any of the fees. I've always felt and believe that the whole fee process is supposed to basically register that the animal has had a rabies shot. And the fee structure, I think, has always been unfair, that it gives different rates to pets that are spayed or neutered, to pets that are microchipped. I'm also concerned about some of the transparency in this contract. I see that they're going to give quarterly reports. It says disclose to the Board of Commissioners quarterly. And does that mean the reports are public? Because, in my 10 years plus as a commissioner, at times we've had a lot of citizens very vocal and very concerned about reports coming from the Humane Society. And I think that's all gotten a lot better. But still, I don't want there to be transparency going backwards.
Anything that you would receive would become a public document, available to the public, and
Okay.
and accessible through an Access to Public Records Act request.
That's good to hear, good to hear. But I'm still gonna go back to, I'm concerned about the price. because although year 1 is a small increase, when we get to year 3, it's nearly a 70% increase on year 1, which is already an increase on the current rate. So to almost double the cost of this service in a few years seems really excessive. I'd like to know what other rates, other government entities, Mishawaka, what other entities are utilizing Humane Society, what are they paying per animal? Yeah, interest rates and inflation are sneaking up, but to see these rates almost double in 2 years just seems excessively high. So I can't support this contract as it stands.
So we'll say that actually we do have a member of the board for the Humane Society, so I may call Mr. Kruk up in a minute. I know Raphael Morton, President of the County Council, and I have had conversations. I believe they also met with Commissioner Fleming. I think they've also attempted to reach out to you to begin talking about the contract. The situation was that they had been operating at a deficit for a number of years for what they charge us, and this was what it would cost them to provide the service. And we are certainly welcome from a county standpoint if we wanted to provide that service ourselves, which is what South Bend does. Now, South Bend pays considerably more than what the upper limit of this contract at the end of the 3rd-year period. That is still less than what the city of South Bend is paying, and the city of Mishawaka is being asked to pay the same amount that the county is through the new contract as well. Mike, and is there anything you'd like to add to that, or? Please state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, I'm Mike Crook. I reside at 449 South Philippa Street in South Bend. I am a member of the Board of Directors of St. Joe County Humane Society. Our costs have risen substantially over the last several years. Actually, the last 3-year contract that we did with the county was a bad contract for us. We should probably have done a better job negotiating it, but it is what it is, and we lived up to it. But the Humane Society has been losing money big time over the last several years. This year, we are slated probably to lose close to $400,000. We are able to sustain ourselves somewhat on some bequests that we have had, but those bequests were never intended to fund day-to-day operations of animal control for the St. Joseph County and the city of Mishawaka. They were donated to the Humane Society with different intentions in mind, and we haven't really been able to live up to that. We've had to tap those monies every month just to do our day-to-day costs. With that in mind, we sent a renewal for the contract back in May, 7 months before the contract expired, because it expired at the end of the year, December 31st. So we did that so that the county commissioners could evaluate it at that time, get together with the council, see what we were needing. If they thought they wanted to take it upon themselves to do, like the city of South Bend, it would give them plenty of time to start making arrangements for that. If they wanted to work with Mishawaka somehow and team up and do it, they had time to do that because we sent the same letter to the city of Mishawaka. If they wanted to look for another agency to do it and work with, it was our intention to give you guys plenty of time to do what you needed to do. We are not adamant about wanting to do animal control. We're willing to do it, but we have to at least break even. This contract, by the 3rd year, will put the Humane Society at a break-even point. So even by signing this contract, the Humane Society is basically still going to subsidize St. Joseph County for the next 2 years, but it'll be at a decreasing amount of money with the 1st and 2nd year. So I'm sorry it is what it is, but if it's catching you by surprise at this point, then I don't know what to tell you, because we had sent that letter back in May, and so you would have it before the budget negotiations and could determine how you wanted to move forward. And so...
And council did act on that information during the budget process, and that's why the 1st-year payment is reflective in what council budgeted for animal control.
Correct.
For 2019.
Yeah, and that was a nice presentation that they did, too, to the council. I was there, and then they came and talked to me,
Jenny
too.
did a very professional
Jenny did
job.
a nice job, so,
Yes.
yeah, understand it completely.
Mike, I appreciate the good things you've said, and it does help shed some more light on it. The current rate, is it around $242 plus licensing fees?
Correct, and that, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. What we collect in licensing fees is minimal. I don't even know if it's $15,000 a year.
I think it's 18 to 23.
Something like that. But that's taken into consideration when arriving at the new new number. So we look at, all of our income and expense and see how much we're still lagging because of not getting enough to fully fund the service that we're providing. So if we weren't getting that, if you decided to keep it, then we'd probably have to increase that contract an extra, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 a year to recover that as well. So that was figured into the formula, Dave.
Okay. And we all know that the council only appropriated 1 year's budget. So years two's a significant increase, year three's significant increase are not budgeted at all by the council.
Well,
Just the
neither is
first
anything
year.
else. Your 2020 budget isn't
Yeah.
in play yet. So when you start doing that this summer, this is something that you'll have to
And
look for.
I think I heard it said that Mishawaka is paying the same rate. Do they have a new 3-year contract at these rates?
We wound up doing a 4-year phase-in with the city of Mishawaka, and we took some things into consideration. Number one, Mishawaka is a smaller entity than St. Joseph County, and you can make the argument that they are more condensed, that our costs maybe aren't as much to have to service the area, and so we were willing to go to a 4-year phase-in. And not only that, we were willing to get, in my opinion, St. Joseph County and the city of Mishawaka on 2 different cycles, because it's been very difficult for us having to negotiate 2 contracts in the same year and always coming to the end of the year and not knowing with either one of them, are they going to renew, are they not, and what's going on, because we as an organization, we've got to plan ahead. And so this was kind of an effort to, let's get them on 2 different cycles, and I think that'll serve us better, and it probably will even serve you guys better.
The new building, how old is the new building?
Let's see, I was still in construction when it was being built, so I've been here for 6 years. I'm guessing it's maybe 7, 8 years old.
Is there still a mortgage on that, or, and is it space adequate?
It is right now. I don't know that we took a mortgage out on it. I think we raised the funds and had most of the funds in place when that building was built, but I'd have to double check on that. I'm not aware that we have a mortgage on it.
Okay. And earlier you mentioned a $400,000 loss. Is that for the year 2018?
Yes.
And how are you going to operate it with such a heavy loss?
That's what I was saying. We have some
tax
bequests.
people.
We have some bequests that our regular donors make to us, donations every year. I'm a heavy donator to the Humane Society, and I live in the city of South Bend, but I feel like my donations are basically subsidizing what we do in a county and what we do in Mishawaka. But we have large bequests, people that pass away and maybe will leave us, $100,000, $250,000. But oftentimes, they leave that money with intentions that they would like to see us take that money and improve the dog park, or take that money and improve the space that we have for cats. And we oftentimes can't honor that because we can't pay our day-to-day expenses because, like I said, the city of Mishawaka and the county have really not been picking up their fair share of the expenses.
Honorable Treasurer, I know right now you don't speak as treasurer, you speak as a member of the board of the Humane Society, but I think you've given me enough good answers that I will now support this contract. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve this contract with Animal Control and Shelter Services?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mike, for
Thank
pinch
you.
hitting. All right, moving on to the Department of Public Works. First item is the consent agenda. Item is a subdivision bond rider for Brownstone Estates major subdivision. Are any questions or comments? Commissioner Thomas.
Yes, Ms. Clark, Madam Engineer, sorry I didn't get you before the meeting on this one. Just on this extension of the bond, it says no expiration date. That just seems a little out of character.
Typically, with the type of surety that this is, being that it's a bond, it basically is valid until we either act on it or return it.
So somewhere it does say no expiration date. Because when I look at the bond rider attached, it says the only changes is to the
Correct.
dollar amount.
The original bond that is on file in the auditor's
The
office.
original bond does say no
contains that
expiration
information.
date? Okay. And then if we're decreasing it over $400,000, that's because they've done such a substantial amount of work, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve consent agenda?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, request approval of change order number 1 RNS 91801 miscellaneous road resurfacing rehabilitation in county subdivisions District 1, 2, and 3.
Forgive
Please
me
state
as
your
I-
name.
Yes,
I don't know
should
if
have
you
done
did or
that
not.
just
I
a
can't
second
remember,
ago.
but
Jessica Clark, County Engineer with offices here in the County City Building, Room 732. Before you for your consideration is change order, bless you. Number 1 for RNS 91801 miscellaneous road. It's our county subdivision package from 2018. This is requesting an increase of $29,620 to address certain drainage aspects, gutter pans, and ADA curb ramp issues that we need to correct on this project. We appreciate your approval. Bless you.
any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve this change order?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, request approval of change order number 2, R 33106 Cleveland Road reconstruction from Riverside to State Road 933.
This is our federal aid project that is ongoing on Cleveland between Riverside and State Road 933. It is a change order where you had to make adjustments within the storm sewer system that was designed due to a underground utility conflict that was unavoidable, so we had to make adjustments within a few of those structures. This increase amounts to $18,572.86, and recommend your approval.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Thomas?
Yes, also, sorry to ask you this before the meeting. $18,500, AT&T fiber, did one of our engineers not catch it, or did AT&T not report it and have it listed? It seems like this shouldn't have been happening.
There was significant work and relocation work that AT&T did perform on this project and was part of the utility coordination that the designer performed in advance of laying the contract. This aspect of this line, they had not identified within their plans and did not provide us, but we encountered it in the field. I think it was in a location that they were not aware it was in that particular location. So again, we had to make the adjustments necessary to maintain our drainage.
And I understand that, but who do you think didn't catch it? AT&T didn't report it?
AT&T didn't
or-
provide that information up front.
Okay. It seems like maybe we should hold them accountable somehow. Just thinking. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve this change order?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Moving on to old business. Seeing none, public comments. Are there any public comments? Please state your name and address for the record. You've got 3 minutes to address the board.
Thank you. My name is Joseph Shabazz. I live at 208 Rue Flambeau, South Bend, Indiana, 46615. I represent a small ad hoc group of people called Community Advocates Association. And we sort of a small little watchdog group that watches government operations. And over the past several months, we've received several complaints about the community corrections facility, Ducomb Center. The most egregious, of course, is the one that I hold in my hand. Several people called my phone and some other people who are part of my organization. They said they were forced to sign a power of attorney and a direct deposit slip so that they could turn their money over to the Ducomb Center. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a layperson, but the last I heard is that power of attorneys only work when there's no undue influence. According to the people I spoke with, the program director, Justin Moody, threatened them with incarceration and loss of their jobs if they didn't sign these power of attorneys. We think that's an issue. Like I said, this is just one of many complaints we've received about Ducomb Center. At this point, I'm hoping that this body can respond to our request for action in this matter, and that maybe we can speak with the county attorney about some of the other issues that we have about this.
All right, well, we can certainly, if you could get us the specific information about that, we can certainly
I
look.
actually have a copy of that power of attorney in my hand right now.
That would be great, and then we could take a look and see what, not knowing anything of the.
I understand.
But we can certainly take a look at that and try and get you some answers.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. And just for clarification, Edie, would that be Mr. Woods, our county attorney, or the Dukem Center, our community corrections attorney, if it's someone else?
No, the county attorney.
The county attorney.
Yeah, I would think it would be, since that falls under the Board of Commissioners' purview, at least that portion of it.
You're comfortable with that?
I'm fine.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Mr. Shabazz.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Happy New Year to everyone.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
And the snow's staying away, that's saving salt money.
All right, if there are no other comments, a motion to recess is in order.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Tough luck. We are recessed.